Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to a Moss and Hip Hop video. And in today's video, I thought I would turn this into a series because there's a lot of musicians I would have to say that has passed away in, the just I can't even say recent years. It just seems like it's almost all the time. And it's crazy on just I was talking about this with my dad the other day, and he was like, because he my dad, he listens to rap, but it was like he was just unaware of how many rappers that tragically lost their lives. And no, yeah, we were talking on that one day, and it was like, yeah, it was, to sit down and to think of that number, and the fact that it is like, this big number, it's insane. And one day he was talking on in particular, and it was, somebody that I was a big fan of when they was here with us, XXXTENACION. And, I don't know if I'll turn this into a series, but I did want to do this video where I did talk on where I was at when I heard the news that he had passed away. And so, yeah, it was crazy. It was something that it still shocks me till this day. Like even when the case was going on earlier this year, on finding the guys guilty. Yeah, it was like just hearing it and then seeing new things, and then yeah, it was just bringing me all the way back to 2018 and just where my mind was at, because it was depressing. It was very depressing. Like this was somebody that I had listened to literally every day, bro, every day. Like because this is when I had was working in Seattle. So anytime, like when I would be heading into work, like I would cut on some X, get my day started. And I remember June 18th. I remember it just being like any other normal day. It wasn't like a different day. It was just any other normal day. Going to work, day was normal, ringing up 100, like over like hundreds of customers and stuff. And yeah, it was any normal day. But I definitely remember from when I had left that place all the way up until, like from that point forward and stuff. But so I remember I was leaving work, and it just even felt weird, like leaving work. Like something just felt off. Something felt different. And so I'm leaving work. I'm walking over to the bus stop, and I'm standing there waiting for my bus, because my bus was like the one bus that showed up like every like once a day. It was one of those types of buses where it's like you're gonna be standing there waiting a while. So anyways, yeah, so I just put my music in, standing there waiting and stuff. Now I usually don't check my phone when I'm waiting at the bus stop. I'll just be listening to my music, standing there waiting for the bus, standing, sitting, whatever. But anyways, I'm just standing there waiting waiting for the bus. And so that day, June 18th, that day, like I said, it felt a little weird that day, just or from that like moment where I was leaving work up until I was getting to the bus stop. So anyways, I decided I'm gonna check my phone. I don't usually check my phone, but I'm gonna check my phone today, right? So I go on there, and first, I usually just do my rounds on like social media platforms and all that stuff. So anyways, I can't remember which one I had opened up first, but I remember I did get to Instagram, and the first post I seen was Ski Mask the Slump God. I saw his post that he made about X, and I just thought it was any other normal post. Like when I read it, because I was like, I knew that those guys was kind of like going, but they had made up at what was it, the Rolling Loud Festival. But I was like, I just thought that he was just making a random post. I didn't realize like what he was posting and stuff. And so anyways, remember reading that post, didn't think anything of it and stuff. Was like, oh, okay, it's good. That he's just like showing love to his friend and stuff. Like the post, scrolled a little bit more, and then it was either World Star. Well, I know World Star would like repost what TMZ had posted, but anyways, they had posted. I think I had saw the post where they said that XXXTentacion was shot and killed today, and I just remember like just being shocked. Like I just remember like immediately just losing all like feeling, emotions. Like I just, everything that was in me, like every just positivity and just good that was in me was just gone. Like I just felt immediate depression. And so I remember it was a customer at my job. He walked up to me because it was like I was chill with a lot of customers that was there. So he walked up, he saw me waved, and I'm like, I was just kind of like, I was still shocked. I was like, I couldn't even be myself, like, cause when if I were to see a customer like out and about, I'm like waving, cracking jokes with them, talking about the day, whatever, having them talk about their day. We just sitting there chilling, right? I remember I couldn't even have like that, like happy emotion, with that customer. And this is somebody I was cool with. This is somebody I was chill with. So, anyways, yeah, he seen me. Wade came up, and I was just like, man, there was a musician that I listened to, because I didn't know whether he knew him or not. And I think I asked, and he didn't know him. And I told him, I was like, yeah, he just, he just passed away and stuff. And so then he walks off, the customer, he walks off, and so he acknowledged that he didn't just like abruptly just turned around and walked off. I was like, I've been looking at that, I'm like, okay, weird, but anyways, but yeah, so yeah, he was, we were kind of like standing there talking about, I think his bus had came up, we said our byes and all that stuff, and then I was still, sitting there waiting and things, and so I'm still scrolling through social media. Then of course, I start seeing more posts, seeing his name trend on social media. Then of course, the videos, people standing around wanting to record XXXTENACION after he had passed. And it was like, it just wasn't hitting me on what was happening, like what was going on, because I'm still shocked over the fact, I'm like, I saw the video, I saw the news, like, this is real. This ain't like no, like a publicity. Like this is some real stuff. Like this isn't fake. Like this is actually real. And so I'm just scrolling through, and I'm just trying to like see any like news or info that I can find. And I remember eventually my bus did show up. And I remember I got on the bus, I almost broke down in tears and started crying. Like not even lying. Like I know people probably think like, bro, it ain't that serious, like, but that's the thing, you gotta understand, it's like somebody that you're a fan of, somebody that like gets you going through the day, like somebody you listen to their music on a regular basis. Like this wasn't no different than, I'm pretty sure, when Michael Jackson, Prince, or any other musician out there, whether they're a singer, rapper, whoever, I'm pretty sure there's fans of theirs that shed some tears. And no, like I can feel like tears forming up in my eyes. Like I remember sitting there on the bus, and I was like, I don't know like what I'm like processing right now. And so then then eventually I did get off the bus, and I remember then it was like another bus I ended up catching, got in there, and I was just like still just trying to like process it. So I remember getting off of that bus, and then eventually I was walking home, and then there was a person that was behind me. And I think they were, at the time, they were neighbors. And then I remember even turning around, and I was like, this is something I don't do. I don't usually talk to people, but I even had turned around and asked them, and he even had heard the news. But yeah, I just remember like just that day feeling like I felt different. And then that day, just like from when I had left work, it just felt different, and then I remember coming home and just, really trying to still process it. And then eventually, I think once when it settled in, and I was like, like that stuff really did happen today. And I'm like, wow, like that's not, something it was expecting to end the day off with. But yeah, it was like ended the day off with it. And no, it was just, like I do remember on my main channel, TMossBoss, like I remember I made a video, and I said, like, just talking to any XXXTENACION fans, I was like, hey, look, I know that this is something hard to process. You guys need somebody to talk to. Comments, message, whatever, talk to me if I can help and things. And I mean, that offer still stands till this day. I know years done passed by, but I don't know. I know there might be some people that might have been a little bit more of a fan than I was, and so that's why I'm like, still, that offer still stands today. If anybody, even if it's outside of this situation, if you just need somebody to talk to and stuff, yeah, let's just, I don't care what it's about, vent if you need to and things. But yeah, I just remember, just reading that. Then I remember my mom, she came home, and I was like, usually I'm like in my room recording, probably taking a nap, might be eating. And so I remember I kind of like, when she was pulling up, I even went outside and like had told her about it, because she didn't really know who X was up until, like he had passed and things. And so yeah, it was like I told her and was telling her about the situation. And then it was like, even I think she knew something wasn't right, because I don't usually be out there like waiting for her, or like walking her in the house and things. I was like, yeah, it was just something where I was like, yeah, it just felt different that day. And so then I remember the next day I was like going into work, I couldn't even sleep, and then yeah, just telling coworkers I was cool with, telling them about it and stuff. And then yeah, it was like from there it was just nonstop, like what am I like what's sitting in my head right now? Why is this sitting in my head that XXXTentacion passed away? Like why is that a thing? And it was just just even like from them like days forward, I didn't really start feeling better about the situation until maybe like later on that year, maybe like some point in time that very next year and stuff. And yeah, just overall like still just trying to understand it. And I think I remember it was like that 1 year anniversary. No, actually I'm skipping some parts. So no, I do remember it was like a couple of days afterwards where they did announce that he was the Dedrick Williams, like he was one of the guys that walked in and was staring at X in the dealership and stuff. But I remember it was 2 days later they caught him. I can't remember who came afterwards in ordering things, but then I just remember like paying attention to that, because I'm like, that's what needs to be on my mind, is when are these guys gonna get caught? But then when they started showing like the security videos, I was like, oh, these guys were bound to get caught. No, cause I know there might be some people that they don't want to watch the videos and secure because it might be too hard for them to watch. I 100% understand that. Sadly, I seen a lot, if not all, the videos that needed to be shown that day, and some extra stuff. Like I was seeing people's like Snapchat stories that were there and stuff, and they taking pictures, recording, and all that. And so anyways, but no, like I do remember where they had showed when the guys had so I think that was like the first security video that they showed when the guys had pulled out in front of XXX Tentacion's car. And yeah, was like going through with the robbery and things. So I remember when that video had came out. I can't remember if it was the same day or if it was a different day when the video came out of when X, he was looking at some bikes, and then the one that had snitched on everybody, and then the getaway driver, they both had walked in. And I don't know if anybody had seen the videos and stuff, but they had both walked in and was like, I think they like briefly looked at him, and then X, he kind of made eye contact back with them and stuff, and then it was just like it's any interaction that you would have with like a complete stranger and stuff, because I'm pretty sure what's going through X's mind, like he don't know if these are fans or what. So yeah, it's like it was just one of those things where it's like he kind of just looked over, went back into staring at the bikes and talking with his like whoever I think he was the owner or one of the workers that had worked there. I think he might have been cool with X, and then it was X's uncle, I believe. But yeah, it was like he was just standing. But I was like, that was what I was gonna say, was that they caught you guys on camera, right? You're nowhere to be pinpointed at the scene afterwards, right? So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like those guys were bound to get caught, like they were gonna get caught, because I'm like, they messed up way too much in that situation. So yeah, I'm glad they well, I know the one, he snitched, and he kind of came off as like he was gonna fold under pressure, because I think I remember when all that stuff, when it like afterwards and things, like he was talking about, oh, I'm starting a job Friday. I think his name Robert Allen. I think that was the one. I don't know. Like I'm not really paying attention to there. I just remember the one guy, Dedrick Williams, and things. But all the other names and stuff, I'm not really paying too much attention to. It don't matter to me. But I just remember the one that snitched. Yeah, I think he was saying, you could just tell by his mugshot the way he was looking. He was like, yeah, that man was gonna fold. And then on top of that, it was like how, then he was saying, yeah, I'm starting a job Friday and stuff. And I'm like, bro, they're not going to let you go because you starting a job. You was a part of a person's murder. You definitely ain't being let go after that. So, yeah, it was just, just paying attention to all of that. Then, yeah, when they announced that the guys, they were all caught. And I was like, okay, cool. It's just... The thing is this, like, I am, like, happy that the guys were caught, but it was just, just knowing the extent of the situation where it was like, you guys could have just taken the money and just left. Like, you guys had the upper hand, and that's something that I just don't understand about that situation, is that you guys have the upper hand. You very well could have, like, if you wanted to hit X with the gun, could have knocked him out, did whatever, but you took this man's life. over $50,000. Do you honestly think like that it was worth it now that you're spending life in prison? Do you honestly think that it was worth it? Because there's so many ways that situation could, you could have, no, the thing is this, regardless of even robbing him, you could have just went out and got a job. I get that, you know, it's hard to survive in this world. I've had my situations, like I would say that I've struggled, but it's never gotten to a point where I'm like, I gotta ruin somebody else's life and also ruin my life because I want to make life easier. How is that making life easier? How is robbing, shooting, and killing somebody making life easier? I'm saying, like, and what's crazy is that X talked on that stuff. He talked on how he was, like, you know, at one point in time, like, robbing, like, houses and things. And look what he did. He made something out of his life. He got into music. Fam, there are so many things that a person can do. If you want to just sit around and mess your life up on some dumb stuff, then, you know, then that's the thing where it's like, you got to understand in this day and age, yeah, you might could have gotten away with something like that years ago when, you know, there wasn't cameras and, you know, ways to track people's cell phones and all that stuff. Yeah, there, you know, you could have possibly gotten away like back then and things, but in this day and age, you're not getting away. You're definitely not gonna get away. So yeah, that's why it's like, you know, people go out and do things the legal way, where you ain't gonna have to worry about going to prison for the rest of your life over it. Do things the legal way. All right. So, but anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and peace.